What would you do if one day the foundation of your life, the job, relationship, or routine you depend on suddenly disappeared? No warning, no explanation, just gone. Would you adapt and move forward, or would you stay stuck, clinging to what was, hoping it might magically return? This is the central question posed by Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. This timeless parable explores how we respond to change, whether it's a career upheaval, personal challenges, or unexpected twists in life. Why does this matter? Because change is inevitable. Life doesn't stay still, and those who learn to embrace change often find greater happiness and success. Today, we'll dive deep into the lessons from this incredible book, unpack the story of Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw, and discover practical ways you can navigate the maze of life. By the end of this video, you'll have tools to face any challenge with confidence and resilience. Let's get started. The story of the maze and the missing cheese. Change is one of the few certainties in life, yet so many of us resist it. We cling to what's familiar, even when it stops working. Why do we do this? Because the unknown feels daunting, scary, unpredictable, and full of risks. In Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson captures this universal struggle through a simple yet profound story. It revolves around four characters: two mice, Sniff and Scurry, and two little people, Hem and Haw, who live in a maze. The maze symbolizes life, filled with challenges, opportunities, and unexpected twists, while the cheese represents the things we desire most: success, happiness, love, or security. At first, everything seems perfect. The characters discover a massive stash of cheese at Station C. Sniff and Scurry, the mice, take a practical approach. They enjoy the cheese but stay alert, noticing that the supply is gradually shrinking. Hem and Haw, the little people, see things differently. They settle in, confident that the cheese will always be there. They decorate their space with motivational quotes like, "Having cheese makes you happy," and grow attached to their newfound comfort. But then the inevitable happens. The cheese disappears. For Sniff and Scurry, this is no surprise. They've been paying attention and are ready to move on. Without hesitation, they return to the maze to search for new cheese. Hem and Haw, however, are caught off guard. They're shocked, angry, and stuck in denial. "Who moved my cheese?" Hem cries, clinging to the hope that it will magically return. Paralyzed by fear and uncertainty, they refuse to explore the maze for alternatives. Haw's eventual transformation reveals a profound truth. Growth begins when we make the choice to let go of what's no longer working. As we explore the lessons of Who Moved My Cheese, the first step is learning how to release the past and create space for new opportunities. Lesson 1. Let go of the old cheese. Letting go is often the hardest part of navigating change. Hem and Haw clung to their cheese, hoping it would somehow return. Their inability to release the past kept them stuck, frustrated, and afraid to move forward. This resistance to letting go mirrors what many of us experience in real life. Think about someone holding onto a job that no longer fulfills them. The role might have been rewarding in the past, but now it feels stagnant. Despite this, they stay because it feels safe. Or consider someone staying in a toxic relationship out of fear of starting over. We often tie our identity to these situations, making it even harder to move on. Haw's turning point in the story comes when he realizes that staying in Station C won't bring the cheese back. He writes on the wall, "If you do not change, you can become extinct." This moment reflects the profound truth that clinging to what no longer exists only prolongs our suffering. Letting go isn't about forgetting the past. It's about creating space for something new to emerge. If you're holding on to something that's no longer serving you, ask yourself why. Are you afraid of the unknown? Acknowledge that fear, but don't let it stop you. Start small. Identify one area of your life where you're holding on too tightly. Write it down, then take a single action toward releasing it. Remember, letting go isn't a loss. It's the first step toward discovering something better. Lesson 2. adapt or risk becoming extinct. Adapting to change is essential for growth and survival. In the story, Sniff and Scurry don't waste time mourning the loss of their cheese. They immediately spring into action, returning to the maze to search for new opportunities. Hem, however, represents what happens when we resist change. He stays stuck, angry, and frustrated, unable to move forward. This lesson is particularly relevant in today's world, where change happens faster than ever. Think about the businesses that failed to adapt to the rise of digital technology. Blockbuster is a classic example. Instead of embracing streaming like Netflix did, Blockbuster clung to its outdated model. The result? Netflix thrived while Blockbuster became irrelevant. On a personal level, adapting might mean learning a new skill, embracing a different mindset, or even rethinking long-term plans. Resistance to change often comes from a place of fear or stubbornness. But the truth is, the longer we resist, the harder it becomes to catch up. In the story, Ha learns that adapting doesn't just help him survive. It opens doors to new possibilities. By venturing back into the maze, he discovers strengths he didn't know he had. Take a moment to reflect on where you might be resisting change in your life. Are you staying in a job or relationship that no longer aligns with your goals? Consider how adapting could lead to something better. Remember, the sooner you act, the easier it will be to adjust and thrive. Lesson 3. Monitor the signs of change. Awareness is the key to staying ahead of change. In the story, Sniff and Scurry succeed because they pay attention. They notice early on that the cheese supply at Station C is dwindling, so they're mentally prepared when it's gone. Hem and Haw, on the other hand, ignore the signs, believing the cheese will last forever. Their complacency leaves them unprepared for the inevitable. In real life, change rarely happens overnight. It often gives us subtle clues if we're paying attention. Maybe your industry is shifting, with new technologies disrupting old methods. Perhaps a relationship feels less fulfilling than it used to, or your health shows signs that something needs attention. These small signals are like the dwindling cheese supply. They're warnings that it's time to take action. Ha writes on the wall, "Smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old." This advice emphasizes the importance of regular self-assessment. Whether it's your career, finances, or personal life, take time to evaluate your situation. Are things progressing as you hoped, or are there signs that change is on the horizon? Being proactive rather than reactive makes all the difference. The sooner you recognize the signs, the more time you'll have to prepare. Schedule regular check-ins with yourself. Ask questions like, "What's changing around me? Am I keeping up?" Staying alert allows you to stay one step ahead of the game. Lesson 4. Overcome fear of the unknown. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to embracing change. In the story, Hem refuses to leave Station C because he's terrified of venturing into the maze. The unknown feels too risky, too uncertain. Ha, too, feels this fear, but begins to understand that staying stuck is even more dangerous. Ha's breakthrough moment comes when he asks himself, "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" This simple question shifts his mindset, giving him the courage to take the first step into the maze. Once he starts moving, he realizes that the unknown isn't as scary as he imagined. In fact, he begins to enjoy the journey. In real life, fear often exaggerates the risks of change. Many people stay in jobs they dislike or avoid pursuing their dreams because they're afraid of failure. But what if failure isn't the worst-case scenario? What if staying stuck is? Consider someone who's afraid to start their own business because they worry it might not succeed. While their fear is valid, they might later regret not trying. Often, the biggest rewards lie on the other side of fear. Next time you feel fear holding you back, reframe it. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, ask yourself, what's the best thing that could happen if I try? Taking even a small step can help you build momentum. The more you move forward, the less power fear will have over you. Lesson 5. Act quickly and stay flexible. Speed and flexibility are essential when navigating change. In the story, Sniff and Scurry adapt quickly. They waste no time mourning the loss of their cheese and instead move forward, exploring the maze for new opportunities. By the time Ha finally finds new cheese, the mice have already been enjoying it for a while. His biggest regret? Not acting sooner. This lesson reminds us that hesitation can be costly. During the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, businesses that pivoted quickly, like restaurants offering delivery services or companies transitioning to remote work, were able to survive and even thrive. Those that waited too long often struggled to catch up. Flexibility is just as important as speed. The ability to adapt your approach when something doesn't work is a critical skill. Ha learns this as he explores the maze. At first, he feels lost and uncertain, but he keeps moving, adjusting his strategy as he goes. Eventually, his persistence pays off. Think about a time in your life when hesitation held you back. How might things have turned out differently if you'd acted sooner? The lesson here is clear. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are, with what you have. Adopt an experimental mindset. Try new approaches, and don't be afraid to fail. Every action, even if it's small, brings you closer to your goal. Remember, it's better to make mistakes while moving forward than to stay stuck in one place. So, what's your cheese? Is it a career goal, a relationship, or something else you've been clinging to? Whatever it is, remember that life is a maze, and the cheese will keep moving. The question is, are you ready to move with it? Let's recap the key lessons from Who Moved My Cheese? 1. Let go of what no longer serves you. 2. Adapt quickly to avoid being left behind. 3. Monitor the signs of change to stay prepared. 4. Overcome fear by focusing on possibilities. 5. Act swiftly and stay flexible to seize new opportunities. If you're looking for another book that dives deep into building habits to face life's challenges and succeed in any environment, I recommend Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This book offers timeless principles for personal and professional growth, helping you create a life filled with purpose and direction. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful book summaries. Until next time, keep exploring. Your new cheese is out there, waiting for you to find it.